It's okay. She off your mind. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you louder, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo.
I will not, and I said it, I will never. I will not even, it's not in the dream. In fact, I've never done any day, and that will not come.
To be vice president?
I will not. How will it be?
Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. Good evening to you from wherever you're watching from. This is Maiyegun Live.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe àní Maiyegun máa wí. Ó sì tún ṣe wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends and tell them that Maiyegun is live.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun diary. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹ́kọ̀ọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé.
Tell them.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
And yes, we like. Oh, Baba, and yes, we like.
Thank you very much for joining me again tonight. It's another experiment, okay? Just keep trying this or that and see which of them actually stays. So let me know if the audio is perfect, by the way, before we get fully into it. So if you are just joining us, take your time to read the caption of this broadcast, which is Wike is everywhere right now. And Tifnumbu just reminded Wike that, reminded Atiku rather, that listen, if you are smart, as you think you probably are, Wike has already destroyed your chance. You know what I mean? However, Atiku also responded. But then we'll come back to that. There are so many other things, so many of these with the Wike's jibes. And at the end of the day, the lesson to learn before we start taking calls. Okay. So Tifnumbu explained the Muslim ticket. And he said, listen, I understand your worries, but my plan is to make Christians the speaker, Senate president, and other stuff, in his own words today.
How will Nigeria develop? How do we banish hunger? How do we improve the security and eliminate killing of one another, shedding blood of innocent citizens? That's what we must take to the office, not our religion. When the shortlisted names came, I look at the character, their background, and everything. Yes, somebody who's so brilliant, so committed, who are during the crisis of Bonu protected Christians. My intention is clear, not on religiosity. My intention is to develop this country, to bring prosperity, and have better qualification, better track record, better exposure, better vision than any of my mates. Why do we want to stay divided? I'm standing before you, and I have the right to claim that I am one of the best friends of the Christian community in this country. Let's develop an intellectual inclusiveness to build an understanding. Which way? Nigeria? Which way? You have done a very good job.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt.
I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
Yeah. Politicians this period, are always going to be the best friend of everyone. But the insensitivity, right? The insensitivity of a politician like Tifnumbu, right? To the religious secularity of Nigeria before choosing a Boko Haram sponsor, sympathizer as his running mate, which we all know is actually deliberate on his own. However, is here. They are your friend. They are the friends of the poor. They are the friends of the traders. They are the friends of the students. They are the friends of the youth. They are, everything. They are your friends. But that is on that, because that is just mere talk. You know that, right? The real deal is part of what Wike shared today. Confirming what Tifnumbu is suffering in. On the ground, they're asking him to come to APC. Come here. Whatever they did to Jolanta at that time, you can do the same thing to them now. Let's do it to them, okay? We'll give you this. That's what he told Wike.
Even after the whole people said, come and go for Sudan, I said, no, I won't do that. I've already made a commitment that this land should be zoned to this area because they've never had it before.
Do you get that? Now back to PDP. You have been probably hearing a lot or seeing videos of Wike's tantrum. But there is something we need to do first before we get to this the latest one, okay? He got played, no doubt about that. He is hurting, no doubt about that. But before he got played, he thought he was the boss. He played into the hands of those who are ready to burn him while he doused himself in petrol. What happened? Wike thought, I don't know what the permutation was, right? On his own order and move, believing that he controls the PDP. At the time, he changed their chairman like 3 times, bringing in Aju. Now, this Aju that came in, somebody will be saying a veteran for this also northern game, even though he's from Middle Belt of Nigeria. Yeah? Wike did his homework and he failed. What did he do? He brought in Aju. Aju, that is a bosom friend of Atiku. Right? So that by the time they probably, and not just that, they told him, they said, if they have to zone their ticket to the southern Nigeria, they said they would rather zone it they call it micro zoning. They would rather zone it to the eastern part of Nigeria, which would then, in a way, kind of position Peter Obi as the beneficiary. For those of you who probably have, kind of short memories in a way, number one, Wike today is a freedom fighter, Abi. He needs everybody to probably help him hurt and mourn, right? He went about, right? And he told these guys, he said, no, we are not doing zoning, no, we need to win power. We're not zoning, no zoning. Let everybody go for it. Then he didn't stop there. He went down the entire same southern Nigeria, tearing apart any of those states that are not in bed with him. And that's actually not where I'm going, precisely. So at the end of the day, he said he made a deal with Aju. A deal that, okay, fine, if we throw this open, automatically, if somebody comes from northern Nigeria, Aju will resign. But, for a fact, Aju actually confirmed that himself, that he was going to resign. That's like fact for fact now, simply.
And the image of my party, if the PDP says I should step down after the presidential candidate emerges and happens to be in the north, I'll be very glad to do so, because what we want is to take over the government and run the government in the interest of Nigerians. So I'll sacrifice anything to ensure that my party wins.
So that was the bobo they sold with Wike. Okay? So somehow, after all said and done, money lost, trust betrayed, politics played, Wike is asking for Aju said, because surprisingly, Aju was the engine room. According to Wike, he said Aju was the engine room that eventually brokered the deal that brought in Atiku. So he played into their hands. And to make matter worse, after Wike kissed dust at Eagle Square, their chairman, which is Aju, visited the man that stepped down for Atiku, Wike's best friend, Tambua. This broke Wike's heart to what you are about to hear more now.
Thank you. You are the hero of the convention. Thank you. Baba. How are you?
So, the story continues. Now, Wike went to London. They said, come, what would you want now for peace to reign? What if they give you the vice president after this? In his own response, as usual, Wike had this to say.
I will not, and I said it, I will never
seek.
I will not even, it's not in the dream. I've never done any day, and that will not come.
To be vice president.
I will not. How will it be?
So, because he said he would not, right? Okowa was picked. Even before the announcement, people knew then that it was going to be Okowa. This didn't go down well with Wike. So they traveled to London. They became free agents. Wike, Makinde, Autumn, and the rest of them like that. In their camp. After all the southern Nigeria that were supposed to be in unison, normally, right? After that got broken, they needed at least a bit of a faction that could indeed say, you don't feel rubbish Wike like that. Now, according to Wike, the people that left PDP have come back to take over PDP. They've taken everything. The southern Nigeria that probably were in PDP, just like that of APC too, that were in PDP, they've been outplayed. They rather now just have to either, join the queue or get completely, booted out. But there's also a word on that. However, Wike said they want to remove him. That's the new plan.
If anybody is thinking, doing anything to think that will leave PDP, we will do the fight in the party there. We're not like them. When in 2014, they walked out from Eagle Square. They forgot. They walked out and joined APC. Is that correct? Did they remain to fight inside the party? But we will remain. But they ran away. But we will remain. Now that they fight in the party, we will not run. We will fight it in this party. Those who run away from fight are weak people. And we will not. So everybody should know this is the state where we are. So that nobody tells you all kinds of stories.
So that nobody tells you all kind of lies. Sorry, guys, if somehow this is not interesting to you, I can understand. That's why we call this platform the diary. It's like writing it one after the other, so that on this platform, you will barely see any dedicated members of MaiyegunsDiary Politico that is ever suffering from any Stockholm syndrome, ever, never. And this is a common disease among millions of Nigerians. You know why? If they think they want to forget something, they just have to check the dates and go back on and check it, because we put every story here like, like that. So it will be easier for you to follow too. There is fight within PDP. And in fairness to Wike, 2014, it was right. Look at this formation of the people who are now, the face you are now seeing, in PDP.
The chairman of our great party, a party that is set to make history in our country. Last night, when I stood here, I said, history is going to be made at this venue. I said, this convention is going to also make history in our political evolution. I also said, this party is going to renew our democracy in this country. And since last night, you have witnessed what I describe as the most credible, transparent, elections to be ever conducted by any political party in this country. I am coming. I am coming. Jagaba has been my contemporary in the fight to restore democracy and sustain democracy and deepen democracy in this country. And therefore, I want to single him out to pay a special tribute for his contributions. Having said that, I also want to use this opportunity.
Blah, 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 blah. 8 years ago. Today, Atiku is the PDP presidential candidate. Tifnumbu is the APC presidential candidate. You get that? But there is, like somebody said, Wike has every right to cry. Nobody should take it personal, okay? As it is right now, whether na cry, Wike they cry, whether na tantrum in the throw, whether na, whatever it is, he has every right. They scam him. If you scam Port Harcourt boy, or if you scam, but he's from Ikwere anyway, but he's a Port Harcourt boy. So if you scam Port Harcourt boy, and he cannot do anything, no, put it this way, if you scam Port Harcourt boy, you can't flash him, say now you do him, or more, no sure say you go enjoy that thing, where you take from him. Somehow, where the Wike has every right to do whatever he's doing right now, in order for the prophecy to come to pass anyway. All of this, so they are still warm up to what you are going to come across, starting from the next 5 days. Anyway, letting you know that the center is not holding in one of his tantrums with the Wike.
Today is my first time of coming to Abuja since I lost the election. I'm not like Yaya Bello, who lost, and every day is in Abuja. I even tried and came second. I don't even come even seventh. Kogi State. He's one of the youngest brothers, the youngest governors, who are giving the same for them. Or we pray for those of them who will take over to continue to do well for Nigeria. When I was called, first of all, Raji told me I was going to be the chairman of the dinner. I said, no. There are so many big people when it comes to dinner. I will go where we will not have so many big people. And that has to do with book presentation. In that case, it has to be launching. So please, I will not bother to have dinner. It will be in the evening. And, we have an injunction in my state. No governor sleeps outside. So I don't want anybody to say I disobeyed any order. So that's why I said, okay, let me come to the one that we had in the daytime, and then I will rush back to the state. Making me come back to the headquarters and remembering that I lost election there. That's one thing I said, my Lord, don't do it. If you have put this in Lagos.
So this is him, like, if he speaks for a few seconds, it will remind you what they did to him. I lost election here. If there's anything that's about the right? Anyway, back in his state, there's a different ball game there. It's like kind of this vibe.
Whoever you are, shame. Shame unto you. All power belongs to Jesus. Shame unto you. All power belongs to Jesus. All power belongs to Jesus. Shame unto you. All power belongs to Jesus.
Thank you, Symphony. All power belong. That is what he is now. And it's like, now here would they. Whatever they want to do, we day here. But however, he closed his exposure. So he said, you came to Lagos to collect 1 billion. 1 billion that was used to bribe other aspirants in PDP to step down for Atiku. He didn't say they bribed Tambua, which is part of that 1 billion. They said, you collected that 1 billion. So you has to go. And now everyone is laughing. But he gave a proviso, this part, talking about all power belong. Abi, listen.
You think your party will win? Yes. The party is likely to win if we take advantage of the support Nigerians are giving. Today, if we take advantage, and that advantage is to do the right thing. What Nigerians are saying, this party that promised on heaven and earth, we can't get it. The company has never been polarized like this before. Right? There has not been support polarization like this before. And then, now you are not, it's not to capitalize on that by doing the right thing. So you can continue to enjoy the support and win the election if it's called. As like I said, we have time. If the election is called, what we say today is it can't be today. Tomorrow, if the election is called tomorrow, like tomorrow is what? Saturday. Right? And they allow themselves in this way. Nigerians won't come down to us. And that's why we are taking it upon ourselves not to allow this opportunity to go. If we allow this opportunity, Nigerians are giving us, then we'll pay dearly for it. And that's what I try to let people know. So, but for me, everything must be done to make sure the right thing is done for us to take the support of Nigerians. But if we say we'll continue this way and then take for granted that the APC have not done well, then we'll go in for a shocker. That I can tell you. If you can remind me.
So in 2023, sir, who is the right presidential candidate
Right,
Nigerians should queue for?
Well, you are asking me.
Yes.
You're
in your view.
Yes. Which party am I? Which party am I?
Sitting between two flags there.
No,
there's a Nigerian flag, there's a PDP flag.
Nigerian flag.
You might be tilting towards what Nigerians want.
As a governor, there must be a Nigerian flag. There must be a party flag. There are no two-party flags. There's difference between federal government and APC.
If these rankings are not
APC is
resolved
of the federal government. So you can't deceive me, a leader of PDP here today.
Simple question. It's very though that question itself is probably born out of what everybody knows. He's met with Tifnumbu. They've made him an offer that is considering, is looking into, should we just call it a payback time? You know, something that, all of this prompted that question in the first place. But it's a yes or no, a direct question. Oh, Atiku, just say it, Atiku. The reason why he won't say Atiku is because it is not Atiku. In a way, they are telling Atiku that he should forget the entire southern Nigeria. However, people are also, because they said Obi and Tifnumbu will take that. Okay? But with this, with a weakest expose and all that stuff, is grandstanding and all things going on the ground, the one they are not sharing with the media, and the political class themselves knowing that they are meeting themselves behind the scene as well, making all these horrible arrangements that are not in any of your interests, by the way. Okay? So there we know where, the pendulum of Wirewike is swinging. In this case, working hand in hand as they do all the time. But let's come back to the ones that are likely going to be part beneficiary of the entire, ruined system that makes no difference between all these guys who are ruining Nigeria and the ones who wants to rescue Nigeria from them. No difference, so to say, right? Muslim ticket has prompted this vile, intolerant, fanatic, jihadist preachings up north. And I'm talking about the religious, incitement and all that stuff up north, simply because of, their 2023 election. One of the one they made the last time was the one from that Mahadi, what's that guy's name? Mahadi something. The guy that told us about Sheki Tifnumbu, questionable background, parents, education, wealth, and other stuff. And the same guy who now said it was Peter Obi that is sponsoring IPOB. If Obi become president of Nigeria, he's going to break up Nigeria. It's this and that. That same guy that said that the Christians should be very careful. They should never, is an Atiku guy. To let you know first, that Mahadi something. So somebody responded. Just let's put it on record that indeed there are follow-up to the political decisions that are already heating up the politics. This guy responded to that Mahadi.
Address for 1 minute. There is one man called Mahdi Usman, who spoke a few days ago and tried to speak lies against the Southern Church and against the Southerners, that we Northerners that are Christians will come to the South and will find it difficult to get a land to worship God. And I want to say to you, Mahdi Usman, you're a liar. That is not true. I am a Northerner and I am preaching here in the South. And I want to say that it's time up for the lies that some of you have been lying for all these years, 62 years. The end of your lie has come. You Northern Christians and Northern Muslims will prove to these wicked men and women that your time is up. And 2023, we are all going to vote for Peter Obi. I want every one of you to know that nothing can ever threaten my stand. I am not for you. I am for God and for the Nigerian people.
Oṣó ni, àjẹ́ ni, ẹlẹ́bọlóògùn ni, amániṣe ni, afàìmọ́niṣe ni, wọ́n á fi yín sílẹ̀.
Pastor, ó kọ́ ọlọ́pàá ó ń ṣọ́ pastor. Àwọn ọmọ ìjọ sticker ló ń ṣọ́ wa. Àṣé kò rí pé orí wa ti burú. Ìwọ má dídá o, ìpápá ẹ̀dá rin. Jẹ́kọ̀ wà ní báìbù tó ń jẹ. Kò jẹ́ gbèsè àgbẹ̀tọ̀ àbí kò gbẹ́rì tí kò gbé tí a fẹ́ jókòó tẹ̀ rà. Gbẹ́rì tí bá yọ píù. Àwòyí àárín. Mo mọ̀ wípé wà nínú báìbù pé ìgbà tó fẹ́ mú Jésù kọjá ní àárín òun ògèrí Jésù. Kí ni Jésù lò? Àfẹ́ rí ló lò. Ìwọ má dídá ayé bàjẹ́.
Hello there. Yeah. So if you have audio issue, let me know before. Yeah. Okay. Somebody just told me that. Yep. So I think that should be better. Thank you. That should be better. So that guy responded to that Mahdi Usman. That guy that was spewing vile just because of your 2023 charade. But that's on the side, or let me say that's by the way. Let's go back to the reactions as well that are not going away. Part of the things that somehow they will tell you they are inconsequential, and they might be inconsequential at the end of the day, but they are still pretty much very consequential now because they're not backing down as well. There's so much at stake, they say, and a lot of people believe that the agitation for the self-determination and all of that stuff in this current contraption called Nigeria is never going to cease. One of them, the reasons, is part of this. I'll start with what Tifnumbu said. Then we're going to go to somebody who bought the form, the presidential form for Tifnumbu, and today is telling you this thing is going to end Nigeria. And to me, I say amen to that. But to Tifnumbu, see it in another way. Let's start from what he had to say, defending what this man is going to say next. Now, Tifnumbu.
How will Nigeria develop? How do we banish hunger? How do we improve the security and eliminate killing of one another, shedding blood of innocent citizens? That's what we must take to the office, not our religion. When the shortlisted names came, I look at the character, their background, and everything. Yes, somebody who is so brilliant, so committed, who had during the crisis of Borno protected Christians. My intention is clear, not on religiosity. My intention is to develop this country, to bring prosperity, and have better qualification, better track record, better exposure, better vision than any of my mates. Why do we want to stay divided? I'm standing before you And I have the right to claim that I am one of the best friends of the Christian community in this country. Let's develop intellectual inclusiveness to build an understanding. Which way? Nigeria?
What is inclusiveness? Or inclusiveness, okay, maybe inclusiveness, inclusive government and all of that stuff. And for the young people, I mean, come on.
And we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and the other thing. Take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, àgbàdo, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption. For over 5 million army of boot camps. We create our food. I mean, that's money for the farmers. That's consumption for the soldiers and skill development. Don't call them illiterate. Don't talk about illiteracy. Anybody who can own gun, who can handle gun, who can cock gun and clean the chamber and cock and shoot is technically competent to repair a tractor in the farm.
Hello, Shanu Wajare, because I mean, somehow you get what he's trying to say, okay? But the concept is not, you know, how can you recruit 50 million youth into the army? 50 million youths into the army. 50 million or 50 million or 5 million. Some say, no, he was trying to say 5 million. But 5 million, waiting now. 5 million into the army. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, everything is just what it is. Why do you run you mommy? A minimum koba uni. Why do you run you mommy? All of a party again, be or loye.
All of a party again, you know, Timon is me at the Dapo. Kilo de me at the airport.
All of a party again. To get a motif numbu abo chair or boy APC, all of a party again. Can you move him worry? Is it not what I found out there? I'm actually sharing with you. Didn't he say that? He said that. I mean, what you know, Oloye.
All of a party again. You know, Timon is me at the Dapo. Kilo de me at the airport.
Anyway, just put it aside, okay? So Babashir Lawal demand I bought the ticket for Tifnumbu, who paid the 100 million. He knows better. He quickly backed out and is continuing to remind people that, wait, I'm just going to continue to remind you, this is not in your own interest. It is meant to end you, but I will speak my mind, and even if I'm going to die. He explained, but they said he's bitter. Person where then give 100 million, may go buy form for Tifnumbu is bitter. Eddie Yahweh, Monkotombo.
I've stated the problem and that our opposition to the Muslim ticket, because we think that it is a grand plan to introduce religion into the politics of Nigeria because of some of our ambitious, self-serving leaders, politicians. If you look at it as it were, Nigeria, in the north, we are now having all manner of crises. Insurgency, tribal conflicts all over the country. In my state, 2 years back, there was a full-fledged war between nomadic Fulanis and settled citizens of the communities. Thanks to God, this has been overcome. In Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Katsina, there's a full-blown war between the Fulani nomads and the Hausa farmers. It's a full-blown war. Now, as it were, the North is involved in all manner of crises, all manner of civil wars. And we think that the introduction of a Muslim ticket or a self-fare ticket by APC is a wicked plan to further create divisions within the North. We've tried as leaders of the society to try to live as brothers and sisters, but out of the blues, this demonic proposition just came up, unincited, unnecessary, but there it is. And for all lovers of unity in this country, for all lovers of unity in the North in particular, where we are most affected, this ticket must never succeed. And we must make sure we defeat it in such a resounding manner that nobody in his right senses will ever think about it again, at least in the near future of our political journey in Nigeria.
Because according to him, he didn't see it coming. Okay? The only reason why Babashir Lawal is not so visible in his own advocacy, the Wike, is because that guy is the former secretary to the government of Federation, SGF of Nigeria. He's the same guy. The same guy that used 242 million naira to cut grass, cut bush around IDP camps where refugees, people who are, victims of Boko Haram, where they were staying. So they used 242 million naira to cut. That's the guy, yeah. And it's not just 242 million. That's not the only ridiculous thing. So they bought computer for those who are going to take details of the refugees for over 600 million. He awarded that to his own son's company. He was the secretary under Boko Haram, under this APC. So he was sacked by Pastor Ruga when Boko Haram was on a sick bed in London. If you remember, that's him. It's the same guy. But criminals, rogues, manipulators, money launderers, and the rest of them, they are all Boku inside the basket and the camp of Tifnumbu. He probably will put them, all of them, into use, dump those they will use, including jihadists, terrorists. They are there as we speak. This guy didn't see it coming. It was the arrowhead. He was the leader of Tifnumbu must come out for president. Now, that same guy. They didn't tell him. So they didn't tell you. In Asari's voice, they didn't tell Babashir Lawal that Nigeria is not for you.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you.
Sorry, oh. But Babashir Lawal never finished. There is more. The anchor asked him another question here, and he had this to say: Muslim tickets.
Forward when we
Baba we buy ticket, person we go pay 100 million for Tifnumbu ticket, they no tell and say in the buy waiting go run him out of town. Something that would now give him sleepless nights. Something that will end up making him enemy of the same camp. Today is a whaler in Lagos Baku's language.
Forward, when we look at the state of the nation, it seems the religious divisions are at their peak. They're greater than they've ever been. How do we move forward from this point to a point where religion is no longer in the front burner of politics and the nation can move forward as one united nation?
My sister, I feel sad that the thing is deteriorating. But the truth of the matter is that I don't think religious division is at its peak. If this self-fare ticket of the APC succeeds, it will just be fresh beginning for religious division in the country. It will just be. Because I find it very difficult to see how the Christians in Nigeria will be placated with this ticket that is designed to just oppress the Christians. See, people misunderstand. When we talk about Islamization as Christians, we are not talking about dragging somebody like Bidi Lawal or Dogara to the mosque or converting them to Islam. When we talk about Islamization, we are talking about the agencies of government completely dominated by one religion. And that is what it is, completely. That is what we mean by Islamization. When you are employed as a permanent secretary, for example, on the understanding that you are a Muslim and that's why you are employed, the tendency is that when you resume office, you do all other things on the basis of your Muslimness, because that is the qualification that made you. So you try to use that parameter for other appointments. So when you hear Christians talking about Islamization agenda, it is not about pushing everybody to the mosque. It's about making sure no other tribe other than Islam gets appointed into government work. And that's what is happening. And so, you know, how can there ever be peace then? That is why we feel that this same-faith ticket of APC is extending that discrimination up to the highest level of government, where we had expected that the process of healing, reconciliation, and
state of the nation, it seems religious divisions are at their peak.
What Babashir Lawal is trying to say right there in a very short form is that no be waiting order, then deliver. He is now saying if they succeed, na dogo what's it called? Na Kilimanjaro top. Na majidun odo majidunio. So he is indirectly screaming, just like this woman, by the way.
I will not allow you to help me. Help me. If they carry me, they go, we are not know.
Help me. That's exactly where Babashir Lawal is. But guess what? Is propped up as the secretary to the government of the Federation under Bokwari when the screaming, when the suspicion of Islamization agenda of APC was so high. Islamization 2015, 2014, oh. Islamization, Fulanization, Islamization. That's exactly what finally happened. Key areas held by Northerners who are Muslims or they are Fulanis and the rest of that. But Babashir Lawal, after the moment he left that circle, he now understands what it feels like to be vulnerable outside the small circle created, called a system in Nigeria that has created enough division, enough acrimony, enough bad blood, and all of that, which has kept us divided. If he remain in that, if you see the SGF today, he's never going to mention Islamization. That is now the former secretary to the government of the Federation of Nigeria explaining to us what Islamization is. Not because they are going to convert you to Islam, not because they are going to push you to mosque. No, it is when your entire system is built on one religious ideology, according to him. He didn't end here. In order for you to understand how much this is to him, he added this too.
Extending that discrimination up to the highest level of government, where we had expected that the process of healing, reconciliation, repairing the battered society would have started. But no, they go and they give it the authority, the approval, solid approval. I can tell you there's no way this ticket, if they win, will be fair to Christians. There's absolutely no way. Whatever they tell you, we know it. We know their antecedents, all of them, both of them, and those they will bring on board. We know those who have surrounded them and have already shared the positions. We know. We have problems, my sister, because in the South, In Igbo land, for example, they will find it very difficult to find a Muslim that can make minister. But if they can find one, they will do it. They do it in Adamawa, they do it in Plateau, they do it in Taraba. Where there's even 1% Islam, they will pick from that group and give him the minister. But Christians in the South will always find their way. They will always get their share because the opportunity to sideline them is not there. They are in an overwhelming majority. So that is it. We are fighting for an existential system. We will want to exist. We want our...
Babashir Lawal says Christians in Nigeria want to exist. They are fighting for their survival. Isn't that enough for you to know? It should be. It should be enough for you to know what is going on inside that fraudulent system. You will speak out the moment you can sense that you are out of that small group. Same thing with all these people parading themselves right now in the southern Nigeria as a governor, so as this or that. When they want to speak, they would speak on behalf of the fraudulent Nigeria. They know the truth, but wait for them. The moment they are out of that circle, they will begin to spew the real truth. Abi, like that guy, everybody go chop breakfast. Say lie bye you. Oh, no. Gbogbo wa la ma jẹ breakfast.
Gbogbo wa la ma jẹ breakfast. Àsìkò tó ní kálukú máa jẹ tiẹ̀ ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni. Summa billah.
Gaskiya ni. So if you have a chance, or you are looking to have a chance, and you think you are doing anybody, when we tell you the real truth, and why investing in this lie is not in anybody's interest. Even those who are benefiting, they will also pay when the Okasala will burst. Trust me. When the center can no longer hold, when the bubble will burst, when everything will go to head, even they themselves then go collect as well. Somebody said that, okay, it's like we are done for then. Of course you are done for. When it comes to what these guys have done to Nigeria or what they intend to do, none of them is going to give you whatever they are promising you. Obasanjo said something about Atiku. I thought I should bring that back just to amuse you. As people will say, amuse me, humor me about Atiku, OBJ.
Yeah. I have no personal issue with Atiku, but if I then, with what I know about Atiku, which you can read in my book.
Okay, read the book. Are you a member of his family?
With what I know about Atiku, if I have put Atiku forward, God will not have forgiven me.
Okay.
That is a Saint Olusegun Obasanjo. But he's actually saying the truth as well. Atiku. Finally, you give him the key. Or more. Anyway, that is that. I am going to take a quick break. And I'm going to be back. If you are still here with me, right? When I get back, we'll take this further. You can go make yourself a cup of tea too. And when I get back, we'll go forward. I mean, take it on as usual, okay? Here we go. Thank you. Now, Buhari is in America, by the way. For those who have seen him in New York, he's been there for about a few days now. I think it's about 2 days already. Now, in one of his requests from the United Nations is that they should please look into forgiving Nigeria debts. I don't know if you have read about that. Meanwhile, back in Nigeria, the same Bokwari who has taken Nigerian debt from, from a $13.5 billion dollars in 2015, who has now taken it straight to over $100 billion. $130.5 billion is the debt of Nigeria, we have been told. Now, that is in Naira, 42.8 trillion Naira, which simply means that there's going to be more stress on your Naira, more stress on your economy, which will further kind of, stifle it. We are about to enter we've entered our own for a while. We have been augmenting it here in the UK and some other part of the world. You see that what they are bringing over in Nigeria, and what they have brought upon you in Nigeria, they are not done. No. The Bokwari government is asking, I think it's actually sometimes deliberate. Remember that during their military unrest, right, they accumulated a total of over $40 billion as debt of Nigeria as far back as 1999. So Obasanjo renegotiated some of them, paid back some parts, and they cleared the rest. So Obasanjo's government paid about $18 billion, and the rest of the whole money got cleared. Okay? So Nigeria debt turned to zero in 2005. But by the time they will hand over power in the same PDP to Bokwari 10 years later, after Nigeria's debt entered zero, Nigeria debt was put at 13.5 billion. Okay. Now, between 2015 and 2022, Nigeria debt has now jumped to over $103 billion dollars. So everything don't crash. Everything don't propose. As this my guy would love to remind us. Everywhere to everywhere to propose. Get that. Now, Naira has crashed. Economy is in turmoil. Unemployment is at the highest you've ever witnessed. In fact, the highest in the whole world per population, as they put us in Nigeria. They have their own drain pipe they intentionally created. Drain pipe to ensure that even when the resources that is scarce is available to them, they are opening up ways to get them siphoned and stolen on different, fake, dubious, whatever project and all that, right? Now, this same set of crook, within that space as well, within that space of 2015 and 2019, they have been able to shoot up over $90 billion dollars in debt. Guess where most of those are going into? To the same infrastructure that are being attached. Listen to this, are being attached to other loans again. Like getting two loans in the name of one project, two loans and all of that, right? Now, having accumulated all that, they now opened up what they called, now even before that, the source of their forex, which is something that normally any reasonable country will protect and ensure that, whatever every return that is theirs is jealously, right? Jealously guarded and saved, Abby. Now, when these rogues came in, that aspect, they opened a new vista in that aspect, right? The amount of stolen crude oil is almost the same amount of the crude oil Nigeria is now producing. From 1.8 million barrels a day to now patry 900,000 barrels a day. Guess what? The stolen barrels of crude oil every day in Nigeria jumped from 50,000 a day to over 700,000 barrels stolen a day. All these are being done out there, whereby the revenue means, right, dwindle. tightened, continue to force them to take more loans, right? Now they have a subsidy regime, another scam they put together that is, like I said, a drain pipe for whatever is coming in as revenue. They have a way to get them all stolen again. Now, when you ask them, what are you going to use for your development? They go straight for loan. They eventually, crash their own currency and economy, dabaru everything as you are currently witnessing today, right? Now, these rogues, now who are like after, put it this way, 17 years after they forgave Nigeria our debt, this northern criminal who has now skyrocketed the same debt to over $100 billion, as they know, they are now begging for debt forgiveness. It's not going to get, he knows he's probably never going to get that, right? But as it is, the future of Nigerians, and then the young ones have already been mortgaged, and they are not tired. He is begging for debt forgiveness in America, United Nations, right? In Nigeria, they are already planning on how they are going to go back again and increase your debt by another $25 billion. To start with, your budget. These guys who are probably supposed to be living in May 2023, right? They are already writing a budget. In that budget, they are already budgeting what could have been the total sum paid for fuel subsidy in Nigeria from 1999 to 2018. Put all of that they've paid for subsidy. These guys are going to collect that in just 5 months, and it's already going to be part of your budget. There is no money for it, they know. Now, they are already cooking the book on how they are going to go and get the loan for it, like the one you have in 2022. Your 2022 budget was put at 17 trillion naira, 17.9 or something, right? Now, when they felt like, oh, we needed to add the subsidy money, how much is the subsidy for 2022? It's going to be, 2.2 trillion naira. They don't have the money. They added it to your budget as part of the money they will have to go and borrow out there, the loan. So they've managed to access some of the money, not everything. As it is now, they are already cooking the book for 2023. And they are already saying they will need to go and borrow at least 15 trillion naira in 2023 for them to fund your 2023 budget. But the way it is in America, asking them, you need to consider the African countries. We need a security seat. We need a seat on the security committee of United Nations. And finally, we need you to remember we are poor. So maybe you should start looking into forgiving us our debts. Listen to this. After they forgave Nigeria debt, remember I said that Nigeria paid some back. Before then, every month, they always deduct money from Nigeria. Every month. That's what is called debt servicing. Okay? Debt servicing is not even debt payment. So from the deductions they have been taking from Nigeria for years under this APC, they refunded most of that money. That they call it over-deducted payments, like Nigeria overpaid. When that money came, Bokwari ordered the Central Bank of Nigeria to share that money. The money is called Paris Club Fund. They tagged it Paris Club Refund, because all the repayment of Nigerian debt are always, when they talk about Nigeria debt, you're talking about most of the debt that are also part of the state's debt as well, okay? So they deduct from all these states. They deduct the money from them every month as well to pay back their lender, okay? So they returned this money back. Bokwari said they should share the money. They shared the money. If you remember, 2015. Abi, that wasn't enough. He asked Emefiole, asked me how much they shared. Paris Club refund money. That was over 800 billion naira. That was returned in 2015. They shared it. Bokwari's federal government deducted their own. They shared the rest to the states, the state governors. That wasn't enough. because they said in 2015, about 18 states in Nigeria couldn't pay their own workers' salaries. Remember that, Abi? Till this day, more than 28 states in Nigeria are owing their workers' salaries. Months, some years unpaid salaries. Okay? But in 2015, they shared 800 billion to all of them. The money, gone. In 2016, Bokwari asked Emefiole to print money, over 400 billion naira. They said all the states that are still struggling with money should come and collect that money as loans. Many of them are not willing to pay back. They can't even pay back. Do you get that now? Another 400 billion shared, gone. These are the money that Bokwari did not even work for. Their own government didn't do anything about, but shared. Do you get that now? Now, the debt of Nigeria has crippled Nigeria, and you are not likely coming out of that anytime soon. No joke. This will not be because so. No thanks to APC. Yesterday, I sent some money to Nigeria, and usually what I do every month, right? And my own agent, the last time I sent money to Nigeria, it was actually, that was last month, right? It was 791 to a pound sterling. Okay. Now, yesterday, it became 820 naira. 820 naira. 1 million naira became 1,255 pounds. Now, that picture there is not because you are not spending pounds or you're not spending it. I will explain it to you. The damages they've done. That's why I said you are not coming out of this anytime soon. Yeah? Hang on. In 2015, a pound sterling was 250 naira. In 2015, right? 250 naira. So 1,000 pound sterling was 250,000 naira. Ridiculous at the time. Now today, 1,000 pound sterling is now 820,000 naira. Do you see that jump, right? Now, this is where you get to know that even if you're not spending pounds or you're spending dollars or whatever it is, let me put it this way first, though. You see all these damages. There's nothing that brought these damages other than what they called devaluation. Devaluation is in this world market. Normally, if you don't really have anything that the whole world is exchanging with you, they would have to set the table for how much the value of your currency will be. In this case, Nigeria goes about begging like Bambiala, asking for money with nothing to give back other than under whatever condition they feel. Under this condition, apart from giving them ridiculous interest rates, they also give them terms and conditions, including their own monetary policy, banking policies, economic policies, and things that they will have to tell them, you need to tame this, you need to clamp that, you need to cut that if you really want us to continue to give you credit. Since they love the free money, that's all the politicians want to do, is just to spend the money. So whatever that means, fine, we'll bend all our own economic policies to suit whatever condition you want them to be, including having to devalue your currency. The currency is valueless anyway because there's nothing to back it up to start with. Do you get that now? The crude oil that you could have used to continue to back your currency up is mismanaged, is stolen, and is completely like, inconsequential, so to say. So you've got nothing to offer the world. Nothing. So whatever condition they give to you is what you have to follow. Now you, that is with your naira in your pocket, you have no idea that almost everything that keeps your day running, your everyday life, almost everything is imported, not from Nigeria. Can you believe that? Yes. Starting with the fuel that runs or power your factories, that runs your machineries, your vehicles, your everything all over, that runs the they are imported. That means somebody went over there to buy them, and they will bring them over to make their own profit. All of that will be factored in, and you will have to pay for it, whatever they call it, whatever the cost they give it to you, you have to pay for that. Sure, you get food, baby product, medical product, or you get what I mean? Building materials, and many, many other things that could be produced locally normally. You know, they import them. Your politicians can make mouth about this, about that, taking pictures of they've started that. By the end of the day, they ended up giving the monopoly of importing your food to Dangote and Bao. I'll be waiting with that guy name. In a chronic capitalistic system built by these criminals called Nigeria. Do you get that now? So at the end of the day, the value of the money in your pockets is gone. Every minute it continues to lose that value, that it will never regain it. It is so sad that, like I said now, that they have, a pound sterling to naira is now 820 naira to a pound sterling. Okay. Now, to you, like I said earlier, somebody who imported under that kind of arrangement, right? You have, put it this way, 2015, 1 pound was 250 naira, yeah? So if you had there, and your minimum wage at the time was, put it at 30,000 naira, Abi? So with your 30,000 naira, okay, whatever the cost of things were at the time, they reflect the same, what the traders, those who actually go out there to get those things and bring them to you, right? It reflects what the market, exchange was at the time, compared to what it is now. Now, simply put, okay, as things continue to escalate and skyrocket, so is the value of the currency in your pocket continue to depreciate. What you could get with 100,000 naira in 2015, you probably will be getting the same thing today for maybe 400,000 naira. Or put it this way, you will only be getting a quarter of what you could get for 100,000 naira. You will only be getting a quarter of that today. Let me explain that too. Let's say a bag of rice that used to be 7,500 naira in 2015, right? Now, the inflation and every other economic destruction, which pretty much can be, put back on the importation of what your food, which they are hiding from you in the first instance, right? A bag of rice for 7,500 naira is now being sold for nearly 40,000 naira. Okay, so which means if you want a bag of rice today, you will need to cough out 4 times of what you used to pay for the same bag 7 years ago. Okay, so does that make any sense, right? 4 times of that. So which means that your 7,000 naira in your pocket today, you will need 4 times of that to be able to what? To afford what that 7,000 naira could get you 7 years ago. Okay. Meanwhile, the economic, your economic supported system is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking day by day, which simply means that the economic opportunity that could have in a way fill in the gap to say, well, it's true. A bag of rice back then was 7,500 naira, right? And today is 30,000 naira. But guess what? In 2015, right? The minimum wage back then was 18,000 naira. And today, minimum wage in Nigeria is 250,000 naira. People can say, okay, I think that makes sense. If you are collecting a salary of 250,000 naira every month, the reason why I use that figure is this. If 1,000 pounds in 2015 was 250,000 naira. That's a value. 1,000 pounds is still 1,000 pounds today. It hasn't lost any value. So to say, you get what I mean now? It is still that same value. Whatever I'm going to get with 1,000, whatever I got with 1,000 pounds in 2015, today, that same thing, I'll probably be getting it today for maybe 300 pounds or 400 pounds. The value of that thing itself has probably, shrinked. But when it comes to perishable, usable things that continually have to go up every now and then, right? What I got or spent 1,000 pounds on in 2015, today, with the inflation of about 7% in the UK, so that simply means that I'll probably be paying extra 70 pounds. Is that even up to 70 pounds? Well, I mean, I'm not good in mathematics, by the way, but you get what I mean. Like, I'll probably be paying an extra, maybe, for 14 or 28 pounds or thereabouts over that 1,000 pounds today. Do you get that now? Because of that inflation, I will see it clearly that I'm paying an extra maybe 70 pounds. Okay? But in Nigeria today, what you spend 250,000 naira on in 2015, in this 2022, if you want to get that same thing again, you probably should get yourself ready for 1 million naira for that same thing. I don't know all the instances I can give you as an example in this regard, but you can relate. Now, that is the damages done to the economy because of the reckless borrowing, okay, and mismanagement of your normal income. You have army of young, able-bodied youth that have no job. They are being recruited for political job and the rest of that. They are being recruited for their election in 2023. These are people who are like wasting away, their lives wasting away, their future wasting away. And at the end of the day, they are going to be the liability on that same system, okay? Now, the government is losing revenue when it comes to, having access to revenue to probably invest and develop people on its own. I mean, as the job of the government, right? Now, they are losing revenue because people are not working. Government have no job, right? Other than to take rent-seeking system, okay? And you can only make more money if more people are working. Politicians don't give a damn about that. They prefer you to live under that abject poverty. In fact, every day to be worried and scared of when is it going to be your turn to fall into that poverty so that they can control you. And this is how they do it. Do you get that now? So he's begging for debt forgiveness. But back in Nigeria, there's already a proposal of a 400 billion naira that they want to quickly borrow. Anybody, if you borrow us 400 billion naira, 400 billion. Okay? That one is waiting approval with the rubber stamp Senate in Nigeria. Now, this is October. I mean, this is September. This is September. Between now and in another 2 months, they are proposing to go out there and borrow nearly 15 trillion. They know you are jobless. They can't squeeze anything from you anymore. Okay? I mean, now person will get something that they shake. They say shake and maybe something go fall. Now person will get something for body, something they fall for in body. Person will no get job. Shishi, they get. So what are they planning? They will go and borrow your destiny, borrow your future, borrow everything that they have done already. They will do it more. This time around, they will do it like it's never been done before. Now, person where they are alive go pay the debt. Some of them are already packing up, and they are doing this for one frauderia that you yourself is probably rooting for as well. Okay, 400 billion towards the end of the year. Add that to the 20 trillion naira they budgeted for 2022. Okay. More people are falling into poverty. More businesses have shut down. Foreign direct investment is continuing to dwindle, right? And crime continue to what? To escalate. And corruption continue to what? To also dress nice and fancifully. And daring you. What can you do? Don't worry, waiting go happen soon. And it will be what they probably themselves, are not ready for. I'm saying this for you to know that it's not in our own hand when everything goes on boom. They are doing everything all within their power to ensure that, you see this Nigeria, the breakup of this Nigeria is going to happen quicker than some of you would agree to or agree with as of today. Or keep following that step on as it's going, okay? Poverty alone the collapse of the financial system, Nigeria's credit rating abroad with the financial lenders abroad is already been in red. There are many of you who are already finding it difficult to use your own your bank card for any international transaction. They are making it so terrible that you can only spend a certain amount on international payments from Nigeria. The rest of the world is flying. You are what? Crawling, not even on 4 legs. These criminals are making you crawl on your bare chest. That's exactly what you are witnessing. Those of you who are being burnt by all of these financial decisions, you know yourself. So that is what Nigeria has for you. It's going to get worse with all of these guys, okay? Central Bank of Nigeria printed nearly 20 trillion naira for Boko Haram. There's no account for it. What they used it for. They printed the money. They shared the money. It is in your system. And now, now that this is the moment when I get to know better about how inflation actually works, okay? More money, inflation, and all those things they say. Because in the UK right now all of us, they read about, waiting they come, how it go affect us, waiting this one mean, waiting that one mean, all of that stuff. And with Nigeria, your central bank governor printed free money for politicians to share, loot, and share while they leave you in abject poverty as always, okay? 20 trillion naira printed, 42.8 trillion naira debts. Add that together and then see if they promise, we just want to take Nigeria forward. We want to make Nigeria, none of them is coming to make anybody great. Take that from me, okay? And I'm not trying to make any sense to you, to those of you who have already made up your mind. I'm only trying to let you know that whether you understand what I'm saying, whether you don't, or whether you want to pretend or you're living in denial of it, trust me, there's something you must always remember. Every of your decision comes with their own consequences. We have seen these guys, and we are saying that if there's anything at all to do to put an end to all of this, to indeed show that we are humans that cares about our own future, not in the hands of these rogues, no matter all their schemes, their flowery words, and all those fancy things they probably give to you, promises they make that they will never keep. As long as it is about one Nigeria, if you care so much, you will join the team. You will join the movement. You will join the advocacy. The advocates that are saying the truth, right? Not that they have all the answers, not that they have figured it out 100%. They are telling you that you need to try something you've never tried before. The lies they have told you that they are rinsing and repeating every now and then, it's old. You are the only people who just so scared, right, to try something new. Whether you now tried it or not, they will make that happen. I just wish you would know that it's better you are aware of this and ready for it, and possibly on this side, before it happens, break it up to save the lives of the people. Maiyegun, come back here, come and break it up now. Come and break it up now. Listen, I am not the one that will break up Nigeria. Are you with me? You are going to break it up. But that they haven't pushed you yet to that stage. Or because somehow your emotional attachment to everything you've been told about Nigeria and the one you've told yourselves or the ones you've made up yourself, right? They haven't really pushed you enough. It's about to get to that stage. And you break up Nigeria. You will demand for it. And it won't be just you. It will be everyone from every part of Nigeria who have lived the lie for decades. And who have now known the truth. But somehow, they are still having this emotional attachment to all this charade. Trust me, do you. At the end of the day, Nigeria will put you where you belong. And do you know where you belong? You don't belong to Nigeria. I will continue to say that. But as it is now, let everybody continue to pretend. Odogu, remind them again. Sorry.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you. 70 years old man. I am too much.
you be mumu. You think say they wise.
They call other people mumu. You be mumu, they call other people mumu. No wahala. Anyway, I hope the United Nations will forgive your debt too, okay? Because if they should do that right now, which ask Obasanjo about it, it will tell you more, okay? If they do that, Bokwari can say thank you once again before he leaves, because you will always know the difference. That's exactly what they have to offer you. In his words,
we have got the opportunity to serve again for additional 4 years. And Nigerians will know the difference.
But continue to live in whatever they are saying now, whatever this, this euphoria you have built about how you want to rescue Nigeria and the rest of that, okay? But when everything turn, enter key, I will be here, not hostile to you, just to remind you. Would you like to go on that same roller coaster ride again? It's going to end the same way, just like this. It has always been the same. But you, like I said, do you. On my part, I have written everything I saw. I have detailed them in the diary today. And I'll leave you to your own, to your own thoughts, to your conscience. And please, when you make all your choices, as they say, as you lay your bed so you lie on it, please do not blame anyone for it. To us, with the sovereign Yoruba nation, we will get better. We will have better. We have a system for the first time developed by the people themselves. Having a say in how you are governed is the primary foundation of an healthy, united, peaceful, prosperous nation. The people build the country, not the cabal or selected few. If you don't understand me today, I understand you. You will soon understand me too. Not because I have a way of making you understand, but Nigeria has a way of making you know your place. You will know your place. And I'll continue to remind you that exactly what it is. Don't stop telling yourself that I'm tired of this Nigeria, but it's because of this thing. That's why I don't want to still show. You will still show it. It is Nigeria. Asking for people to discuss if we still want to be together or not is not a call for war. Now, because they don't destroy education, this mean, dabaru most of your brains. Some of you, they have put you under this armor of poverty. Enough that with the adulterated misinformation called education in Nigeria, they will never have to find it difficult to make you understand that you have nothing else. You have nowhere else to go. You are nobody. You have nothing. Once there's no Nigeria, when you are said that too, and you know it's not true, right? It takes a lot of education, a lot of information, a lot of courage, so to say, for you to stand up and say, no, I deserve better. And that better comes from the one, or it will come from the one I am part of. And you can be part of this. Listen, you can be part of it. Okay? And that's up to you. Whether you want to or not, please don't say you never heard about it. Don't pretend that, you didn't understand it. You do understand it, but you have your choice to make. When you make that choice, please do not blame anybody for it when the consequences of that same choice comes biting. I just hope it's just going to be you and just you. On our part, on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, the Temple of Truth, we said that we're going to intervene in what is going on in Yoruba land, help our people back in Yoruba land, not just our people, everybody that is living in Yoruba land, doing their legitimate business and all of that, contributing to our own, communal development, peace, and all of that stuff. So the Yoruba Union is coming. So I spoke with the lawyer, the legal team putting this together for us in Lagos to start with. I also spoke with the princess herself. She's probably watching me right now. She has been working on how to put all this setup together in Lagos, including the warehouse where we are going to be keeping some of our stuffs that are going to be beneficial to many, many of you. Listen to me, okay? Once this comes on stream next month in October, to every one of you on this platform, MaiyegunsDiary Politico, remember, we will do our fundraisers tomorrow. And then afterward, we'll do it again, and we'll do it more until we have enough to kickstart what we said we're going to do, okay? So tomorrow, we're going to have a People's Parliament here. I have put forward some funds that is going to help us finalize all the legal setup and every other thing back in Nigeria. So, and I hope that maybe before the end of this month or early in the first week of October, we would have all that sorted. So tomorrow, our intention is to make sure that we have a platform whereby people who need our support, who need our help, okay, are able to access them. And we're able to also show them that indeed you deserve better. We all deserve better. And if there's, I mean, this is not just going to be about talking about it. We will show you how to get involved, okay, and make the difference as well in your small community. Yoruba deserves better, okay? We don't have the best of us representing us right now. They have created an army of ignorant people, miseducated people who are all like put together for a purpose of servitude, the one that is not serving the interest of any one of us. I'm talking about the generality of us. So this is a clarion call, and it is voluntary, okay? So I've said it, that if we don't turn up, the whole thing is on us, okay? We have nothing to prove to anybody. We called for it. You asked for it. On this platform, many of the contributors said, we need to do something like this. We need to get closer to these people and get the message closer to them, recruit them enough for for the evangelism. That's what we said, Abi. Now, this is also about to start that in a more kind of a smaller way without having to rush ourselves. I want us to show up. So tomorrow, if you are part of us, you will also join us, okay? I'm going to take one or two calls now, right? And then we can call it a night afterward, all right? But before then, let me take another break. And when I get back, I will take calls, okay? So don't go anywhere. And then I will be back.
Buhari is a manifest.
suwe. Now, just to give us a bit of heads up for what we're going to do tomorrow, for those who are going to be part of us, okay? So we're going to use many platforms to put together our fundraiser tomorrow. And then, like I said, we will continue that for the next couple of days as well, towards the end of our programs, just, you know, get what we can get on together. Then we're going to put all of these together, okay? Where, as usual, our own open policy program, whereby if you want to make any inquiry or if you want to be part of it and every activities of what they are doing, the accountability of everything that we are doing and the people we are actually like, impacting and how far our messages are going. On this platform, we spent over 4 million naira on publicity, just to remind our people that, they need to be to be awake of what is going on around them and how to indeed join us to demand for the peaceful, Yoruba sovereign nation that we are advocating for on the side. So we would bring them on and we'll bring all those up to date, or let me say, should I say, every update on those activities. We can do it, I believe, but if we don't, well, we will say maybe, well, it is not the time. I won't beat myself to it, by the way. You get that now. It's just that our intention is, is noble, and it is, sort of honorable, so to say, which means we could choose not to care and just continue to, in our way, educate and open the minds of the people, but we think we can do more than just talking, okay? And that is why this idea was brought on this platform. So if it flies, we'll pat ourselves on the back and say, well done. If it doesn't, I keep saying it, I am somebody who manages my hope. I am positive, by the way. I am just giving you this heads up, okay? There are many platforms tomorrow that you can be part of it, including the bank account where you can put up your fund and all of that. So even outside the UK, all this have been put together, by the way, okay? And tomorrow, we will take further, advice, opinions, suggestions, and all the stuff to make what we intend to do perfect as much as possible. So Princess will be part of us tomorrow. There are some other details we're going to share, including the areas where we have been offered lands that we could go into cultivation, grow our own food. And as take the contributory, the contribution of our own agricultural expert on MaiyegunsDiary Politico. There's going to be an open door policy, so to say. We have already set up the phone communication where if you want to be part of it, whether you want to be a vendor, somebody who supplies our food, somebody who supplies our own medical stuffs, somebody who supplies our educational materials that we share to schools and all that stuff, or whatever you want to be part of, even if you want to be a volunteer, once everything is done, we're going to release this number to the public, okay? And you can make all your inquiries, you can be part of it, you can sign up here and there, and then make this happen. It's going to be big, it's going to be beautiful. And I hope that we are going to do exactly what we intend to do, hopefully. Somebody said, Maiyegun, we're going to do it, don't worry yourself. There's so many things I can tell you that we really want to do, okay? There are so many things. I would love to remain discreet about them, okay? There are things that I am not comfortable. Should I say it is not in my own person. It is not in my own kind of character, right? Wanting to sort of put everything out there when it comes to, this sensitive, this sensitive matter of the Yoruba interest and every other relating matters, okay? There are things we will do. There are things we intend to do. There are things we're going to get a little bit, involved in. There are, our style, our technique, all that stuff. They are going to be so new, different to what you are so used to. Therefore, the result of our own actions are going to be felt, right, so fast than you are going to imagine, or that you can imagine, so to say. Do you get that? So some of them I can say, some of them I don't want to say, other than when we start doing them and you can say, I saw your hand, I saw that too. So they are preparing for elections, and we believe that if you say you don't want to be part of it as well, It's, I mean, if you don't want to be part of the election, if you boycott an election, it's also part of an election, okay? So it's also, you know, all those things, all those areas that we need to educate our people, and they have to use their own strength and numbers to force some certain things to happen. To do that, it is more than just talking, okay? One thing I told someone, I said, I have learned how to deal with people. I have learned to say, when I say we, I have learned to make sure that I actually mean we. And I'm very sure of the we. Okay? Rather than say, hi, I will make sure, I cannot make sure of anything until we make sure of something. And I'll tell you why. Okay? When I use we, or before that, right? When people come on and say, what are we doing about well, what we need to have done this, we needed to have done that. I said, I get you, sir. Honestly speaking, there are many, many things that should have been done long time ago if we are organized for just for a moment. There are many things that should have been done for a long time ago, but they were not done. Okay? And people expect those things to be done, to have been done. Why have we not done this? Why are we not? And the question there is that who are you asking? And who exactly are you referring to? Why have they not? Or who are you referring to when you say, why are we not? We, the Yorubas, we are supposed to. I know that in all honesty, people who say that, they are indirectly saying they expected some other people. They don't know them, right? But they expected that some people should have done this or done that. In that regard, it is all deceit, deceitful, manipulative in a way. If you want to do something, let us know how many of us are involved. Let's see the number. There are some numbers I'm going to see that will make me feel like, yes. You get what I mean now? When I say numbers, I'm talking about you, and you, who is interested in everything that can turn around the advocacy and the realization of the the Yoruba sovereign nation. It's a lot of work. You don't expect some people to do them. Do you get that now? Some people are going to be physically involved. Some people are going to be financially involved. Some are going to be spiritually involved. Some are going to be professionally involved, which means everything they do within that space, that group, is going to be professionally based. You get what I mean now? Everybody will have to be ready to do something. Not, why are we not? Why have we not? You know what I mean? It's good to ask. I'm just saying it to you that this is why most of the time when you use that phrase on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, I quickly cut it short to say, who are you asking? Who? I mean, we should declare it at home. We should declare this. We should declare that. And who should declare them? Because you expected some people to have that wherewithal to do them for you, do them on your behalf. But when I ask, how much of your own resources, your time, and your whatever it is, have you really, really dedicated to this? Most people will just say, well, it's because we just don't know who to talk to. It's because we don't know what to, and other stuff. Excuses and excuses and excuses. These are things that I have learned about people. Okay? That is why the only time you can see me speak very strongly is when I look back and I see the number of you who say, yes, let's do it. Do you get that now? Yeah, okay, let's do it. When you see that number, you can brag about them. You can brag about anything. Because by that, you know, whatever you say you want to do, you will do them. You are capable of doing them. You are not bragging. You are not just making mouth. You are not just blabbing, rather. Do you get that now? I am that kind of a person. And that is why I'm somebody who manages his own expectation. I don't put people under pressure. There's no point in that. I am somebody who loves people to voluntarily say, let us do this. And then them showing the commitment to it. That's it. So that's exactly what I'm going to remind you of, or I am reminding you of tonight. Okay? If you think something needed to be done or should have been done, declare Yoruba nation, or they should get our, we should have, get our own soldier and our this and that. You can imagine all these things, but it will be completely ignorance of you, okay, to think there are some people who have the capacity to do all of those things you are wishing, or why those things have not happened. There are people who have the capacity. Why hasn't Baba Akintoye just declared Yoruba nation? Why hasn't this one doing all that stuff? The question is, have you actually paid your own dues in ensuring that the Baba Akintoye and every one of those who have been pushing for the Yoruba sovereignty, that they have the enough numbers that it takes to say, that's it, Yorubas, it's time. Now we're going to go for it. You know, in reality, majority of us are like that. You know what I'm talking about? So once you have the people on your side, they don't just say, we are with you, Maiyegun. Maiyegun, we are with you. Anything where we want to, we are with you. I have heard that many times. Trust me, I have heard that a lot of time. Though I have my people here, you have always been with me. And when I'm saying this with all sincerity. You have always been with me because we have been together on this for so long. And we have achieved a lot together, especially when I call and you respond. Okay? But guess what? My bragging right comes from your responses. If your response is cold, I get the message. If your response is very, very loud, I also get the message. I am somebody who manages my own expectation. If it comes from your mind and you are still with us, just remember, tomorrow is Saturday the 24th of December. Of September. I think I'm living in the future, by the way. So if you are joining us, I don't expect a big number. It may not be more than 500, 1,000. It doesn't really matter. But that small number on this platform has proved to me that there is a power. There's power in number. I'm calling on you. This is it. So as for Princess, she will be the head of that organization we are putting together. She's going to put together a team that is that she's comfortable to work with, in order to make sure that our own in our plan, the goal and objectives are achieved, and they have been well explained and well ironed out. Okay. As for us in diaspora, listen to me. Tomorrow, if you still believe that we should do this, right, we will be relying more on our own generosity. What we intend to do, we have explained so much. We'll do more tomorrow, okay? So I'm going to call it a night. So sorry that I had to use some of the other time I have to explain this, okay? But we'll talk more, and possibly everybody will have a chance to be part of the parliament tomorrow. You can share your view while we raise the fund as well. So from here, I want to say thank you to every one of you who spend your evening with me again tonight. Don't mind, sometimes it's all talk. It's so much to talk about, so much. Sometimes some of them are pretty much like deviation. But trust me, nothing I've said on this platform here that is not useful to what we intend to achieve in the long run, okay? So we have a legal team, we have a media team we are putting together as well that are also going to help us do some coverage. We have lands that have been given to us. We have been given lands. Somebody gave us, I think he said 6 acres. 6 acres of land somewhere along Ife in Osun State. I have another person who has given us another land somewhere in Osun State as well. He said that one is about, somewhere around 6 acres as well. Princess, the head of this organization back in Nigeria, she's told me as well that we are having another, this time around it's not acres or hectares. Hectares. That's about 500. Okay, I'm not exaggerating. No, if I heard that well, if I heard that very well, yeah, we're having more than 500 plots of land somewhere between Lagos and Ogun as we speak today. All these are being volunteered for us to use as lease, free of charge, for all kind of agricultural sort of production we want to go into. I won't say much. I'll just hinting you on that. So we'll get people who are going to put all the clips together. All of you in the diaspora, every one of us in diaspora, Yorubas in diaspora, friends of Yorubas, all of you who have families in Yoruba land, even if you are not Yorubas, our program is going to cover everybody in Yoruba land. We are for those who wish Yoruba land well, everybody in Yoruba land, to build a community that will be interested in helping us to remind Nigeria that we deserve better. Even though those who are speaking for us right now, they have already made us so terrible deals, okay? And they are telling the owners of Nigeria that we are fine. So we'll make sure that before their election, they call Obi now, don't worry. I won't say more than that. Until when we get to that time, we'll see if it's going to be the only option available, at least in Yoruba land. Time will tell. Thank you very much. Ola, Osman, I'm going to see everybody tomorrow. Get yourself ready. Be part of that parliament tomorrow, People's Parliament, okay? And it's going to be in Yoruba. Sorry. Yeah, it's going to be in Yoruba because it is so crucial. And I hope you understand us and bear with us. Thank you to every one of you. You can still like the broadcast, like it and share it. Watch it from the start if you are just joining. And I'm going to see you some other time. Until then, never stop following Maiyegun. Okay? I'll see you again.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé.